Now, when I say America is the land of the moderators, you're probably going to think I'm bigoted for saying that. You can't say I'm racist because Americans are not a race. And you can't say I'm a nationalist because I'm not exalting any nation, any structure within that nation. I'm not exalting a race or religion. I'm not a zealot of any sort of class of people. You can only say that I have some kind of bias bigotry towards Americans. Considering all America has done, it's not that surprising. I guess that means 90% of the world is bigoted toward America. And it's not even because of all the wars and shit like that, because a lot of first world nations do that. That's how they maintain that power. What separates America is they seem to revel in that authoritarianism. You look at the culture, you look at the people, and they want to be controlled. They want to be told what to do, and then they bitch about TSA scans. You know why they bitch about TSA scans? It has nothing to do with the fact that they think their civil liberties are being violated. It's because it's an inconvenience. It comes in between them getting on the plane and consuming. That's the only thing they seem to like more than being told what to do, is mass consumption. And when you entwine those two, what do you get? The fucking internet. And that's why they love the internet just the way it is, and they don't want government coming between that. That's why they're opposed to SOPA and TIPA, things like that. It's not because they think the government's going to spy on them. The government already knows about you. It's not because they think the government's going to arrest everybody for downloading some fucking movie, because that's freaking ridiculous. They might regulate the internet where it's difficult to download movies, but I guarantee you, you're not going to see an entire prison population of people that downloaded whatever documentary you happen to be watching or whatever. So what I want to get into here is the culture of America. And there are many examples, but I'm going to give you just this example. My family likes football because some of the people in my family have lived in America and some of them have lived in Canada. Football is a common theme in both of these countries. And, some people from other countries might get upset at me using the word football, but too bad. So, here you have American football and you have Canadian football. And it almost made me weep watching the two in comparison, because American football is just nothing but commercials and consumerism and rules and penalties. They get penalties for fucking everything. They put their foot in the wrong place to get a penalty. They get too excited and give a thumbs up to somebody in the audience and get a goddamn penalty. It's not about the game. It's about enforcing the rules of the game in between the, Coca-Cola commercials and shit like that. That's not a goddamn game. That's nothing to get excited about. That's nothing to spend money to go see. And then you look at Canadian football, and it's about the goddamn game. It's the same game. It has people in padded armor tackling each other, grabbing a ball, running to the other side of the field to gain points. The difference is, in Canadian football, you don't have all these fucking rules. Sure, you have rules to maintain the structure of the game itself. It wouldn't be much of a game if you could make it up as you go along, but they don't enforce them. It's not about enforcing the rules. As long as you're not fucking punching the other guy in the throat, you're probably not going to be penalized for it. So, that's the culture of America. America is all about rules enforcement. And that's why I firmly believe that 99% of moderators probably come from America, even if they're not currently living there. Now, that's not to say that all moderators do. I know a couple of the moderators that don't. Some of them live in the UK, which isn't much better. Some of them live in Sweden or Belgium or whatever. But for the most part, they're American. And the biggest websites, the ones with the most to lose because of moderators, do live in America. Facebook is in America, Google is in America, YouTube is in America, and these are the moderators that are detrimental to the internet. Sure, we would like to get rid of all moderators. Sure, all moderators are destroying civilization and human thought, but the biggest examples, the ones that are multi-billionaires, are 9 out of 10 times American. So that's what I mean when I say that America is the land of the moderators. It's not home to the brave. It's certainly not home to the free. It's just the land of rules, enforcement, and self-regulation. It's not even about government regulation, because if it was about government regulations, everybody would be held accountable equally. as in a normal game. And you can think of football like a nation. And Canadian football is like how the Canadian government gets involved in institutions and in private capital and things like that in order to organize everything, but it organizes it in an equal manner. It organizes it in a way that affects everybody equally, whether for good or for bad. Maybe you don't agree with the law. Maybe you don't think that that law should be in place. Maybe you think there needs to be improvement, and you're probably right. But the government, at the end of the day, that's its job, is to function equally for everybody, as opposed to moderators that are private institutions just bossing the people around however they see fit, and you're okay with that. That's what bothers me. How a lot of so-called leftists are okay with private institutions controlling the environment, controlling the mindset, controlling the debate. How the fuck are you going to call yourself left-wing? How the fuck are you going to keep a straight face and tell me that you're liberal or democratic or anything else, socialist, and you're not acting like it? You're not giving the means of production to the people. You're letting a centralized power tell you what the fuck to do. And at the end of the day, you'll hide behind the same excuses as the most, far right winger. It's private property. We can do what we want to. Well, then you're not fucking left wing. If that's your excuse, if that's what you want to go with, that it's private property, then I got news for you. You're not a fucking socialist. And you're sure as hell not liberal or democratic either, because you're not letting the people decide, and you sure as hell aren't liberal, or else you would fucking let them be. Live and let live. That's the essence of liberalism, isn't it? So no matter how you look at this, you're an ultra right-wing fascist douchebag. And that's it. We don't have to fucking listen to you. You have no legitimacy. I don't care what you call yourself. If you support moderators, you're a right-wing shill. You're a fucking right-wing troll who sucks Ron Paul's dick and all that other shit. So, that's all I have to say here, is that America is on the far, far right. Even the people that call themselves left-wing are on the far, far right. The only difference is in some ways they're even worse, because they have the audacity to lie to you. They have the audacity to think you're stupid, and that if they say they're left-wing enough, you'll believe it. And I guess it's true. People actually believe there's any kind of left-wing opinion in the United States. There isn't. Maybe they have arguments over how the market should work, how the game should be played, what to penalize and what not to penalize, but they love the penalties. They love the rules enforcement, either which way. They love the bourgeoisie. So it really doesn't matter whether or not they're arguing in favor of one way to punish you or another way. Maybe we should work towards not having all those fucking rules, not having all those fucking penalties. I'm willing to have that debate with a socialist, with a liberal, with a Democrat, with a Green, with a Labor, things like that. They may not agree with me. They may not be as extreme as I am on the economic or social scale, etc. But the fact is, I can tell the difference between someone that's sincere about what they believe in and someone that's just feeding me a load of bullshit and then turning around and fucking me up the ass and banning me and controlling my posts and deleting my content that I worked hard on and degrading me and humiliating me and raping me. And that's all Americans know how to do. So that's why I'm going to assume that if you're a moderator or pro-moderator, you're probably American, or at least part of the first world white privilege system. So that's it.